YouTube, how's it going? Welcome to the channel. My name is Jason. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. Here on this channel, I do a lot of food and product reviews. Today, we're going to be checking out the Litter Robot. Now, I picked up the Litter Robot about 2 months ago. We got it. We've had the normal cat litter box and just got to the point where we didn't want to deal with the smell and the mess and the scooping and the changing the litter all the time. It just got to be too much, too nasty, and decided, we had the money, we got the got our tax return back, and decided, all right, let's spend the money. I know the Litter Robot is not cheap. It's not for everybody. Not everybody's gonna spend, $450 to $500 on a litter box. I knew somebody that had one and they loved it, and they decided, all right, you know what, we got the money, let's splurge and let's get this thing. And we decided to. And I can tell you, first things first, it comes, when it comes in the mail, it comes in a very big box. I mean, a large box. This thing is huge. I mean, that's first thing. This isn't a small little litter box. It's a big globe. I mean, this thing is big. Let me see if I can go to this website if it says the exact size. So it's saying it's 29 inches high, 22 inches wide, and 24 inches deep. Again, it's pretty big. It's a large thing. And just so you're aware when you order it. So we ordered the Litter Robot, and we got the Litter Robot 3, the Connect. So you can get it to connect to your phone, and I'll go over that and show you some of that here in a second. So it's $4.99. If you get it if you just get the Litter Robot 3 that doesn't connect to your phone and that you can monitor everything, it's $4.50. So it's $50 difference. This way, with a phone, you can keep track of everything. It tells you when, if you're not home, you can look it up, how often your cat's been in there, when it's cycling. Is the tray underneath that collects the poop full? How full is it? There's a look at my gauge right there. So mine's actually almost full, so I'm gonna have to change it. And if you hear your cat get in there, and you can set up on here, we'll go over all those details in a minute. So I got the Connect, $4.99, and I ordered bags with it that you put underneath it. So I ordered those. So I ordered the Litter Robot and the bags. So what my point was, when you order that, they're going to give you one tracking number, so that you'll do your order, and you'll get that tracking number for your order. The two things are going to come in separate packages. Your bags and your Litter Robot are going to come at separate times, but it's only under one tracking number. So I was following my tracking number. I'm like, oh, it arrived. I was excited. I was at work. I came home, and there was just a little tiny box. I'm like, okay, what is this? Open it up, and it's just my bags. I'm like, wait. I'm checking my order. Okay, it said it was delivered today. Where's my Litter Robot? Did somebody take that? So I started panicking. Oh no, it didn't come. Then I'm reading through the small fine print. It says your orders will come in 2 different packages. Allow 2 to 3 days between the time you arrive the first one to the second one before you call us and contact us to find out if the package is still coming. So it was like another 3 days, and the actual Litter Robot showed up. Take the box apart, pull the Litter Robot out, follow the directions, and set this thing up. Wasn't really sure. I was kind of confused when I was looking at it first. I see this rubber gasket thing inside that you put the litter on. I didn't know, am I supposed to take that out? Wait, how does the litter go through that? It was all kind of confusing. What happens is, so there's this rubber, I'm gonna call it a gasket, that sits inside the Litter Robot. You're gonna put your litter inside there, fill it up. It fills up into that. When the Litter Robot cycles, that turns. That whole piece starts moving and goes up. And as it goes up, now this mesh area will start to come out. All your litter comes down and goes over that grated area and will go through the grates. So the rubber gasket is now up towards the top of the Litter Robot, and now it's all this grated area that your litter is now falling through and getting held in a little compartment underneath it. So what's left as it keeps moving is just the poop, the kitty poop. and the wet clumps. So the thicker things are sitting there on the grate. Then it keeps moving. Now all the litter's gone through the grate, and now there's a little opening. And now your poop and your clumps will fall through that, which goes down into the bottom, in the container where your bag is that collects that. It'll stop. Everything's fallen in, and then it starts going back the other way. All of a sudden your litter starts coming up, and it fills back into that gasket and settles in there. Now you have your litter is all there. It's cleaned, it's fresh, and you can set up in your app if you have the Connect, or I think, and if you don't have the Connect, you can probably do it on your litter robot. Probably a little more difficult. That's why I would say, I recommend, if you're gonna spend the money, spend the $50, get the litter robot Connect. It's all in your app. It's super easy to control the device through your phone. So you can go into your app here, and let me get in here. It has a night light on it, so you can have the light on, and I have mine over here in a room next to me, so you can have that room, so you can turn the night light on or off, or you can have it, if you have it on, it'll, where mine is at, it's in a dark, it's in the entranceway. There's no lights over there, so it's usually, if I have that night light, if I have the night light on, it's gonna be on all day long, so I typically turn it on and off. So on here, and I'm going to show you here if we can see it. Get a little closer. So as you can see, my nickname for my little robot is Mr. Titters. Wi-Fi, sleep mode I have set at 1 a.m. So that means if he goes in it after 1 a.m., it's not going to cycle. That way it's not, because it is kind of noisy when it cycles. It's right outside some bedrooms there, so we're not going to hear it in the middle of the night. There's my phone to sleep. Get back up here again. And then wait time, as you see there, is 7 minutes. So what that means, and you can change that wait time. So from the time he goes into it, he's going to go in. It's going to sense he's in there. And the way it senses it is, when you put the litter in there, it weighs it. Technology in the litter robot. It weighs how much that weighs. When he gets out of it, so the next time he comes, it knows how much it weighs. It gets in there, it senses, uh-oh, it weighs more. Now all of a sudden he gets out, that weight's gone. 7 minutes later, it'll cycle. So you can change that wait time to, let me see, you can do 3 minutes. So you could do 3 minutes, 7 minutes, or 15 minutes. We did 7. So, and you may notice once in a while, so you'll hear it running, he'll get in it, he'll get out, 7 minutes later, it'll start cycling. If he tries to get in it while it's cycling, which I don't know, let me know in the comments below if you have a cat, has it tried to get in there when it's cycling? Mine will come up and he'll watch it sometimes. Sometimes he doesn't care, other times as soon as he hears it, he'll run over there and he'll check it out if he's in the mood. But he doesn't try to get in it. If he did, it's gonna stop. It's gonna stop that cycle. It's not going to keep spinning with him in there. It's going to feel that weight and it's going to stop. But there is some times when he goes in it and he gets out and, we walk by and we may notice it's kind of smelling. And I look in there and I see he's been in there and there's little lights on the front. It'll light up red if it's timing. Timing means it's waiting that 7 minutes, like he's just been in there. That light's not on. It hadn't sensed he was in there. So it does do that every once in a while. You either just hit the reset button or unplug the item and put it back in, and it just needs to reset itself. So you will run into that from time to time where they'll get in it and get out, and it didn't realize it was in there, and it'll just leave that there. And you can just manually hit the cycle button on the machine or on your phone, have a cycle, and then, like I said, reset it or unplug it, and it should work fine again. Now, is it going to cut down on all the smells? Yes and no. When he goes and it's still sitting there and it hasn't cycled, obviously you're going to smell it. I can tell when he goes. And even when it gets dropped down into the container underneath, it doesn't completely hold in all the smell. Some smells can still get out of it. So if I walk right in front of it and he's just gone and it's fresh and it's down below, I can tell it's down there. Obviously, after a little bit, it doesn't stink. Maybe it dries up or whatever, and then it doesn't smell as bad. But we've had it now for almost 2 months now, and we haven't changed the litter in there. That's the one thing about it, is because as soon as they go, either 3 minutes, 7 minutes, or 15 minutes, it's going to cycle, and it gets that out, and it just keeps the litter clean, and your litter lasts a lot longer. So that's the great thing about it. So if you're thinking, wow, $500 is a lot of money, it's gonna take some time, but you're gonna save money too, because you're not gonna be buying as much litter, because your litter's gonna last a lot longer. Because when you're scooping litter, it saves you time. You're not scooping litter all the time. Every day we had to scoop poop out of litter, and you're losing a lot of litter doing that, and it's just a pain in the butt. If you have the money, I highly recommend the Litter Robot. It saves you so much time. So if you have the money, I highly recommend getting this device. It saves you a lot of time with scooping. And like I said, it's going to save you on a lot of litter. You're not going to have to buy as much litter because it's going to last a lot longer. Now, one thing we weren't sure of, would this solve, which it hasn't. It's solved somewhat. And I'm sure your cat probably has this. You have the same issue with your cat if you have a regular litter box. They get in there and they get out, and litter's all over your floor. It sticks to the feet, it gets in there, and sometimes they scratch and they throw it, and there's litter all over. So every day, I was constantly sweeping litter off the floor because he likes to throw it everywhere. The Litter Robot has cut down on that somewhat. We still have some that gets out, and I don't think it's from him throwing it out, because it's harder for him to, because it's more contained in the globe, so it's harder for him to toss it out. I think the little bit that we are getting on the floor is sticking to his paws and falls off as he walks away. So you're still gonna have a little bit of that, but not as much as you would before. So like I said earlier, you have two versions of the Litter Robot 3. You have the non-connect, where you're just gonna control everything on the device for $450, or you have the one that you have the app where you can connect to it through your phone, control it wherever you're at, so you don't even have to be at home. You could be away on vacation and still have an idea of what's going on with your Litter Robot. $499 for that one. I would highly recommend getting that one. Like I said, if you're on vacation and you look and like, oh no, it's almost full, maybe you could call a friend or someone to come over and be like, hey, could you keep an eye on my cat? And then just let them know. Could you just pull that out? You might have to empty it, depending on how long if you're gone. You probably have to be gone for quite a while. It usually takes a few weeks for him to, and let me check. So, and here's another thing. So the status on my gauge right now is saying almost full. I'm going to go check it real quick and see, because I've seen that before where it says almost full and I pull it open and I'll be right back. Okay, so there you go. You could see that it's saying this is pretty much almost full on my phone. There was a lot of room in there. There was the one side was kind of filled up. The other side, empty spaces, nothing on the bottom. That could fill up a lot more than that. So I shook it around there. So that's another issue is, let me turn my light off here. So that's another issue is oh my goodness. The gauge doesn't read properly. I don't know what it goes by. And if you know in the comments, let me know. Is it weight? Is it sensing the weight of what's in there and it's saying, okay, it's full by weight? Does it do it by volume? I don't know how it is, because there's still a lot of room in there. It's not full. So what you can do is, so this is saying, like I said, let me get over here so I can show you, almost full. So I can tap the button right underneath here. Yes, reset it. So now my gauge is saying empty, because by the time it says full again, then it may actually be full. So while this is nice, it's not always super accurate. If you know any tips or tricks on how to get that to be more precise, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know, is it by weight? Maybe his poop is super heavy and it just thinks there's a lot in there. But still, it's great, it's nice. It's great to be able to control that with your phone. It's worth the extra $50. And so at the end of the day, the question is this device worth the $500? Because that's what I spent on it. That's a tough one, because it's a great device. It works really well. It does what it's supposed to. Sure, there are some tweaks, there are some glitches, obviously with the gauge and that not really being full, and sometimes it not sensing when he's in there. Those are minor things. The no longer having to scoop litter, the cut down on smell by quite a bit, the saving of litter, is it worth $500? That's a tough one. And I would say to you, if you're questioning, man, should I get it? If you have the money, yes. If it's really gonna stretch your budget and you're like, man, I really want it, but I don't know if we can really afford it, then wait. I mean, it's a great device, but if it's really gonna, shoot, I want to get the litter robot, but am I gonna be able to pay rent? Am I gonna be able to buy food for the family for this month? Definitely don't get it then. It's not something you need. It's something you want, and it's a great device, but if you can't afford it, don't get it, because $500 is a lot of money for a litter box. But if you got that extra money, then I would say definitely get it. Yeah, I would love to see the price come down on this. I think $300 would be right in the range where I think this would be really a really good device, and I could really strongly recommend it. For $500, man, it's a tough one. Like I say, it's still a great device, but that's a lot of money for a litter box, and not everybody can afford to spend $500 on a litter box. If you have this device, let me know in the comments below. What do you think of it? Are you happy you spent the money? Was it worth the $500 or not? I'm glad we got it. Yeah, it cost quite a bit of money and it was a stretch, but hopefully over the long run, we're going to make up that money in the litter and stuff we save on it, and the time and the effort and the cleaning. I hope. So guys, like I said in the beginning, if you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I upload a new video. I'll see you guys next time.